If you're anything like me, you have a bunch of code laying around in either notepad files or heck, even in a notepad plus plus like this. And I have all these different tabs here with, just different themes that I'm working on. And it's just a crazy mess of Docker Compose files and stuff that I'm not saving anywhere. So in this one, I'm going to show you how we can resolve this by using a program called Bytestash. Let's get into it. All right, like I said at the intro, this program is open source software. It's called Bytestash, and it's really a product that you can just paste in some snippets of code that you have lying around that you don't really know what to do with, but you know that you need them. And like I said, a lot of my stuff, I have just random little pieces of code that I've done for StreamerBot and stuff like that. And I just have it in these scattered notepad files, and it's time to clean that up. So today we are going to install Bytestash in Docker, and it should be pretty quick, pretty simple. I'm excited to kind of showcase this one. So let's get rolling. First thing we need to do, let's head over to the GitHub for this project. And I'll put a link in the description below of where you can kind of come see this if you want to read through a lot of the stuff here. But we're going to use Docker Compose today. And if we scroll down, a lot of info. If you want to do any sort of demo of the product, you can click the demo right here, Bytestash. And then there's an unraid option here. It's official. So we're using this part right here, this Docker Compose file. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. We're going to head over to Portainer, and we can take a look at how to do it in Portainer, and then we'll take a look at how we can do it via a terminal. So here we are in Portainer, and if you just go into, like if you're at your home here, just click on your node, and then you can go over here on the left side. We're going to go to stacks, and here's some stacks I already have created. What we need to do here is we'll click add a stack, and we're going to do web editor, type in the name of whatever you want to use here. And you can see this is going to be deployed using Docker Compose. We'll go ahead and call this one Bytestash because that's what it is. And we can actually just paste that Docker Compose file that we got earlier. We'll paste that in here and let's take a look at it. So let's go and install Bytestash. Here's the link to get the image. Restart always. It's going to create volumes here. Port's going to be 5,000. As you can see here, environment variables, we can go back to the GitHub and take a look at the environment variables. And here's that page for us. Nice features. We can filter by search, language, title, alphabetical if we want. It just talks about some settings that we can do, environment variables. So base path, the path to this actual product. If you want the path to be just like, it's a base path, just enter /Bytestash, and then it'll go to your domain /Bytestash, or leave it blank. We're going to leave ours blank. Docker secret code, allow accounts to sign up. So you'll set this to true or false. If you're doing this private, you'll want to set this to false because you don't want people to be able to register an account to use your Bytestash. Debug if you need to. Disable accounts, totally disable user accounts. So again, you can also do that just to make sure, nothing happens. If for some reason that, you had accounts that were signed up already, you can do this to, false or to true to disable accounts. Yeah. And then you can do disable internal accounts if you want to do SSO. Nothing we're going to change in there for this example. So we'll go down here. We'll leave our path. If you want to do single sign-on, we can do that there. If there's any other environment variables you want to do, you can add them here. I'm not a huge fan myself of using Portainer and doing stacks. I like to do everything via the command line, and I know it does the same thing. So let me bring open my terminal session and we'll do things that way. I have my terminal software open. I'm connected to my server and I'm using my VPS. If you are looking for a great VPS provider that is very cost effective, take a look in the description below. I use Velox Media. They have deals going all the time. You can get killer deals on VPSs, and just use that link in the description below. Take a look at their products. They are a company out of the UK, but just note that they do have servers in the United States. So this server I'm using is in California. So even though they're a UK company, it's amazing. Definitely check them out. They're awesome. So again, link in the description below. So I'm gonna do ls here, and I put stuff in the Docker folder I created. So we'll cd into Docker, and you can see I have other folders here. So we are going to create a new folder called Bytestash in here. So we'll do make Docker Bytestash, and then we'll go into that. And now we need to create a Docker Compose file. So we'll go sudo nano docker. All right. And so we have this Docker compose.yaml file open. We're going to go ahead and paste in all of that stuff that we got from the GitHub, and we're not going to make any changes. So we'll go ahead and save it. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and install this. So the command to do that is going to be docker compose up. It's going to read our YAML file and go through and start installing Bytestash. Okay, Bytestash is now up and running on our server. What we can do is if we bring Portainer back up, we can also take a look here. We see refresh. We'll go into containers here, and we can see right here we have Bytestash. It is installed, it is running, it's on port 5000. So let's go ahead and bring up our Bytestash instance. And here we are at the login screen for Bytestash. What you have to do is go to your IP address, whatever your server's IP address is. If it's internal, it's probably a 192.168 yada yada yada. You port 5000 because that's what we set up. So here you're going to type in whatever you want your username to be and then your password and confirm it. This is the very first account you are creating. So, do whatever you want there. Go ahead and type all that in and hit create account. Here we are at our very first screen here. I'm going to go into the settings and see what our options here. Let's go dark mode and just save. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. You can see up here, we have two different types here. We have a private, Bytestash. So this is only showing code snippets that are specific to you, your account, or you can click public here. And that's going to be anybody can read those. Just something to be aware of. You're probably going to want private, and most likely this is going to be behind your network, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But if you do something like Cloudflare tunnel to it or something that you want to share with friends or coworkers or people like maybe in your Discord community that you're doing some stuff with code, you can also do a public right there. So we have different languages here. This is all search. You type your search stuff in right there. Sort, just how things are looking here. Go back into our settings, compact view, display snippets in more condensed format, show code preview, and then how many lines of code you want to show in that preview, show line numbers. I do like the line numbers, so we'll add that here. Show categories, expand the categories. I could do that right now. I might later. Your search settings include code in the search. So if you're not quite sure what you titled, that code snippet, but it has something to do with the environment, a variable, let's say is called speed tracker. You can it's in the code, you can check this, and this will also search within code. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because most likely I will forget titles to things. And then your data management, you can export everything to JSON, Markdown. You can import some snippets there. So I'll go ahead and save. Displays only your favorite snippets, and then you can delete some. So let's go ahead and we'll go back to our snippets. It actually goes to a recycle bin, permanently deleted after 30 days. So that's kind of cool that, if you accidentally delete something, it'll still be there for 30 days. So we'll add a code snippet here. We'll call this one, we'll do the Bytestash Docker Compose here. So we'll go Bytestash Docker Compose. And then if you want to do your description, and then I'm going to actually I'll paste in, let's say the GitHub link here. We'll do more info there. Categories, type of category and press enter or comma. So this will be Docker. We'll just do that. Make it public if you want. If you have code or a file to upload, you can do that. We can do our language here. So you can choose all your stuff here. This is going to be a YAML. What does this guy do? That expands it. So let's go ahead and paste our Docker Compose into there. I'll go back to the GitHub, copy it, come over here, paste it in there, and then we'll add. It is now created successfully. Let's refresh. There is our Bytestash for our Docker composed Bytestash, our snippet. Something to note here, because we played with it earlier, I clicked the favorites and it's not showing because this is only going to show your favorites. It's kind of weird that the star doesn't light up. So just make sure, I don't know if it's a graphical thing, maybe with the dark mode. Let's take a look here. I'll go back to light mode and then we'll do star that. So it doesn't say that there. We're only showing our favorites. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything noticeable on the screen right now that says we're only looking at our favorites. So something to pay attention there, that no matter what you're clicking on, you're not going to see it. So we'll undo that. It only shows that at the bottom right. So something just to note there, if your stuff's not showing up, make sure you kind of check that and just see if that's what it was. Go back to dark mode here, and you can see this one's taking up the whole screen. That's okay. This is just an example. Let's add another snippet here. So we'll go new snippet, and then I'll just we'll call this random HTML. Let's not give it a description, or category will be HTML, and then not public, our language, HTML, and then we'll just do hello world. Add. So you can see there, this goes, put it on top. There is a way here we can make this a little better looking. We can click this this first option here. You can see how it's lit up kind of blue now. Does the star light up? Okay, so the star does light up a different color blue. It's just my mouse is over it, so I couldn't tell. So something to pay attention there. We have a couple different views here. You can put them all kind of in tiles or go kind of detailed view there. I like the tiles because it's a little cleaner. You can see here, we can click into the snippet there, and we have our information. We can view the code. We can edit this. We can go make that bigger. We can delete it. Another kind of cool thing I like about this is you see these two little, brackets here. If we click that, that opens it up in raw code. So if you wanted to kind of see that in raw code, you could do that. And then you have the copy button there. It copies everything right in there. So very, very cool, open source program, Bytestash. This is definitely going to be in my home lab repertoire. Start putting all my code snippets, in here so I can keep track of things, do categories, newest first, alphabetically oldest. Can we sort by, we can sort by our languages here. So if you only want to show stuff, what you're looking for is in YAML, you can do that. I don't see how we can sort by category, but we can search by category. Type a # hashtag. You can see the different categories there, so we can search, filter categories there. So really kind of cool option there. Definitely take a look at this. And like I said, make sure you're setting this up correctly if you want to allow people to create accounts to get into it. Go back to your Docker Compose file, take a look at all that. And that's going to do it. This is an amazing project. Like I said earlier, I'll put links in the description below to the GitHub. Make sure you give it a star. This project is awesome. And I'll put a link to the Docker Compose where you can get that as well in the description. And like I said earlier, again, if you need a VPS, take a look at Velox Media, link in the description. They are an amazing provider. They are out of the UK, but they do have servers in the US. So I use servers that are in California. They have multiples across the country in the US if that's where you're located. I use them for my VPS, and I use them for my web host as well for all the web stuff I do. So a really amazing company there. They're awesome to work with. They have a Discord where you can get on there and talk to them, any sort of deals they have, etc. So click that link in the description below. And that's going to do it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you're using this, if you install this, let me know how you're using it. What kind of code snippets are you putting in this? How is it working out for you? So until next time, stay safe, have fun, and keep doing good.